Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely.
History! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. You can follow me on X, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff, at I Am Pledger. You can follow the station at SA Sports Star. You can also watch or comment along with the show on our YouTube page. Most interactive way to get at the show. Jacob Eric, Miguel Martinez, Fred Records. What's happening, my guys? You can follow the station on YouTube at SA Sports Star. Like, comment along with the show. I will answer as many of the questions and comments as I can get to during the show, or feel free to call in at any point if you'd like at 210-656-ESPN. That is 210-656-3776. Welcome in, everybody. Good Wednesday to you. As Joe likes to call it, hump day, his favorite day of the week. To me, it is the end of a long beginning of the year. As I've been filling in for Rob on R&R in the morning for the first couple of days of the new year. But Rob Thompson back tomorrow on R&R in the morning. So be sure to catch Rob and Rudy as they get back at it, starting at 6 o'clock in the morning. And, of course, Jason and Joe on the Blitz, 2 to 6. They'll be live out at the South Texas RV Super Sale out at the Freeman Coliseum. So make sure to go out and see them tomorrow and everything that's going on. And, of course, you know they're going to have tickets to give away to go see Corey Taylor, frontman for Slipknot, who's coming to the Aztec Theater, coming out on February 29th. Yeah, that's right. It's a leap year this year. Put 2 and 2 together. We'll start off with the Dallas Cowboys, as there's been a lot of confirmed, unconfirmed, and disputed reports as it becomes to signings that they are attempting to make to their roster. Offensive tackle Lyle Collins and linebacker Damian Wilson, chief among them. They're also apparently looking to add wide receiver Racing McMath and running back Sherrodrick Thompson. Now, Jane Slater, who joined the Blitz, and if you missed any of it, it will be on our audio vault at sasportstar.com, powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, 225-2121, mybestbailbonds.com. She said that she has been texting with the agent, nothing official yet. Doesn't mean it won't be at some point, but there are nuances that they have to work out before all things get done. But the main thing about these signings is A, linebacker depth, because as we've been talking about here on Extra Innings with Pledger, linebacker is a spot of need, especially when you're playing a bunch of basically smaller safeties at linebacker. So having a true linebacker at the position at any point in time just helps when you're playing more physical teams. Offensive tackle Lyle Collins is the biggest. A, just because if you look at it, the injury to Tyler Smith on Saturday night completely tore his plantar fascia. Reports are that it's the best possible thing that could have happened, and it's not expected to be a long absence, if at all, for him. They haven't even ruled him out for this weekend's game against the Washington Commanders as they wrap up the season, looking to lock in that number 2 seed. But Lyle Collins, former Dallas Cowboy, played inside and outside, so there's position flex to a Lyle Collins and an addition on the roster. But it's not just the fact that the Tyler Smith thing, there's also the Tyron Smith thing that you have to watch out for, who has been in and out, bumps and bruises, back issues consistent throughout his career. And you wonder what their availability is or if there is worry. Now, the Blitz will talk with Stephen Jones tomorrow, the executive vice president and COO of the Dallas Cowboys, as he'll have more information. Hopefully, a lot of the questions surrounding whether they have signed or are signing to the practice squad will be eventually answered by Steven tomorrow and what they provide in terms of the Cowboys of depth. But the other part of that is Josina Anderson of CBS Sports is reporting that the Cowboys are one of two contenders, including the Baltimore Ravens, that may pursue former Jets running back Dalvin Cook if and when he clears waivers. And that is a big one because we've talked about it. When he was first available, I thought the Cowboys should have gone. They are getting a rare second opportunity at a miss earlier in the season. And I'm not saying it will work. I'm not saying he's not already washed, but I do know that that Jets offensive line is terrible. So can he play better in a different situation? Maybe a more conducive run game style to his running style. Look at the difference with the Houston Texans when you talk about how great of a fit and how good Devin Singletary has been in Bobby Slowick's system versus what Damian Pierce was compared from last year when he was a near 1,000-yard rusher in his rookie season to this year. And it is just completely different. And mainly it is because I don't think he fits the zone one cut and go type of system that the Houston Texans are stylistically running, that is closer to that 49er style in terms of a running game. And that makes a whole lot of difference with running backs. Style, fit, it matters. And if it doesn't fit with what the Jets were trying to do, and under Nathaniel Hackett, you would think it's closer to the LaFleur McVay style, which is similar but not exact to what Shanahan runs out there in San Francisco. Maybe up in Minnesota, he was running in a system more specific to what he fit. Look at Derek Barnett, who the Texans claim from the Eagles, former first-round pick, waived, claimed by the Texans off waivers, and everybody, I said, look, it's a lottery ticket. If it works, great. If it doesn't, no hard feelings. You took a shot. But the Texans needed help on that defensive line earlier in the season. Right now, that defensive line is looking like one of the strengths of the Texans unit when you talk about Will Anderson and what he's done, Malik Collins, former Cowboy, and having a career year, and even Jonathan Grenard having a career year. You add Derek Barnett, and last week, after a few weeks, he gets indoctrinated into the system. It's closer to the wide nine they were running in Philadelphia in previous iterations, and their success. And he has 2 sacks last week against the Tennessee Titans. It worked. You take a lottery ticket, you scratch it. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. But it worked for the Houston Texans, and there's no reason not to at least kick the tires on a Dalvin Cook to see if it works when one of the issues you've had this year has been the run game. It's no doubt that CeeDee Lamb is the straw that stirs the drink offensively, and the Cowboys offense kind of goes as does CD and Dak. But having that counter to it would help. And if Dalvin Cook can provide the stability in short yardage and in goal line situations that you've been trying to find all year that hasn't worked with, whether it's Tony Pollard or Kevontae Turpin or Rico Dowdle or even Hunter Lupke, it hasn't worked and they've still struggled in those situations. Why not? It can only be a benefit to the Cowboys. It's not like it will destroy anything that the Cowboys are as currently constructed. So take a chance And if you're going to make this playoff push, make it. But one thing the Cowboys don't do a whole lot of is make big acquisitions in the middle of the season. Lyle Collins, a nice acquisition. That's something that could help, especially in the post on the offensive line, which has been an issue. Now you can have a chance to solve not only the linebacker issue with Damian Wilson, but also you can help to add some at least possible help to that running back room with a guy who is a 4-time Pro Bowler who's gone over 1,100 yards in multiple seasons in Dalvin Cook. It's worth the shot. It doesn't do anything to negate what the Cowboys already are as currently constructed. So make the signing, do what you can to best maximize the potential of this roster to make that Super Bowl run and be a threat in the postseason. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger. Your comments and calls coming up next as we continue here on Extra Innings with Pledger, especially when we talk about the Houston Texans, who have basically a playoff game of their own that will be in prime time for the first time this season. We'll discuss next right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's R&R in the morning.
Thursday on R&R in the morning, the return of Rob Thompson. He's been out a while. What's he been burning on? I know he has some topics. I know he has some takes. Wemby versus Giannis. Do we get to see both stars for the first time? It's on TNT. I sure hope so. And we keep looking ahead to that Penix versus McCarthy matchup. Yeah, Michigan versus Washington next Monday night. Mark starts at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Build the custom home of your dreams with Adair Homes. Take advantage of their limited time offer of 4.875 interest rate with a 5.31 APR when you finance with Adair Financial Services. Visit ADAIRhomes.com to find out more. For well-qualified buyers, other restrictions apply. Visit AdairHomes.com for additional disclosures. Equal housing opportunity, Adair Financial Services, NMLS number 4586.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Denise has been playing jazz for 40 years. Last concert, one of the musicians fell sick with RSV. Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a highly contagious virus that can lead to breathing problems. This time, she's choosing to help protect herself with Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo. Abrysvo is a vaccine for the prevention of lower respiratory tract disease caused by respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, in adults 60 years of age and older. Abrysvo is not for everyone and may not protect all who receive the vaccine. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its ingredients. People with a weakened immune system may have a decreased response to Abrysvo. The most common side effects are tiredness, headache, pain at the injection site, and muscle pain. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, respiratory syncytial virus vaccine. For full prescribing information, please call 1-844-989-7284 or visit abrysvo.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Hormones can affect everything. Bad skin, bad hair, low energy, poor sleep, brain fogginess, libido, and weight gain. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we take a functional approach to your hormone problems. Eating right and exercise will not be beneficial without optimal hormone function. This goes for men and women. We do state-of-the-art testing to get to the root of your hormone issues and help you get well and stay well. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. We can help. 210-468-1891.
We're here with Jose Rios, attorney at the Gomez Law Firm. If you are injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, Jose, what's the first thing our listeners should do?
The first thing they should do is pick up the phone, call the Gomez Law Firm, or Google joegomezlaw.com.
Gomez Law has been protecting the people of our community for almost 50 years. They're the leader in personal injury law.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do carbon monoxide cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries.
But that's not all your firm does, Jose. Tell us a little more about other cases Gomez Law takes on and wins here in Texas.
Really anything that involves a personal injury and a third party that is responsible for causing that injury, we will be happy.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
You're all set with your Medicare prescriptions, Mrs. Brown.
This is not just low-cost copays at Walgreens.
I can actually help you set up 90-day refills if you want.
This is having a partner you can trust. Get low-cost copays, 90-day refills, and delivery from your neighborhood Walgreens. This is being independent. Together. Walgreens.
Restrictions apply. For details, see walgreens.com/pharmacy.
If you're looking for a new couch, you could cut down on expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Because you know you've had this couch for too long. Sure, you've had good times together, but a ripped-up cushion is not a fond memory. It's a sign. Notice how other people have couches with 2 armrests? Now that's living, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renters and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new couch. Please, it's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Before you fire up that grill, make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market. Hi, Jason Minix here. Tri-County Meat Market has everything you need. If you're thinking steaks, you want some chicken, some poppers, beef ribs, pork ribs, brisket, picanha, tri-tip. They've got it all at Tri-County Meat Market. Take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25, and Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Heebner, or online at tricountymeat.com.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. Pick up to 40 days of consistency. All over Febreze car clips right on your fit. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Your home for the Dallas Cowboys is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. If you're watching on our YouTube channel at SA Sports Star, like, subscribe. You're able to comment along. Some of the comments, like Gary Murphy saying, yo, Pledge, hoping the Texans make the playoffs and get to face off against my Chiefs. We got to link up and watch it if they do. For sure. I'll likely be at the Root Pub if I'm going to watch that game, so be sure to roll through. Miguel Martinez knows where I'm going to be at. Fred Villarreal says, so cool the Texans are playing a national TV game on Saturday. It's been a while since the Texans were the non-playoff featured NFL game. Yeah, it's been a hot minute, but deservedly so for the most part. So I got to give it to them, and to get the A team in a because the normal Texans playoff slot would be this weekend, because prior to last year that we weren't 18, so the wild card was starting this week, usually during the Army All-American Bowl or the All-American Bowl, and that was the 3:00 game usually. So we get Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on the Monday night broadcast for the Week 18 basic playoff game, and it is the night game that night. So 7:15 is going to be very, very cool to get our first non-noon time slot of the year. We have one in the 3:00 window against the Broncos, a game I went to, but it was flexed to a noon to avoid conflict with the 49ers and Eagles, which turned into a bit of a yawn fest, as Cowboy fans know, as they got punked. As we were talking about last week, last segment with the Cowboys, here underscore and says, please, Jerry, lift them and make some moves. Look, it's worth the shot more than anything, because the guys that you have on your practice squad or at the end of your roster, I think, are less of a chance of being stolen, and those guys have a chance to contribute. Mike Baez, Bear County Social Apparel, says, looking like I'm about to steal your girl. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I've got my professor's sweater on, basically, with you can't see it, but if you're watching on the YouTube channel, the tie clip is actually an Iron Man arc reactor. But speaking of the Houston Texans, they have a massive game on Saturday night, 7:15 on ABC and ESPN, as they get Joe Buck, Troy Aikman on the call for them, as they will be taking on the Indianapolis Colts in what is essentially your first wild card game of the season, because the winner of that game is in the playoffs no matter what. And the good news about it is each team controls their own destiny. The Texans fell to the Colts in week 2 of the season, a game I was also at earlier this year in CJ's home debut. And while CJ played well, defense did not. And Anthony Richardson was running all over the Texans before Gardner Minshew came in and carved up the Texans secondary. Things have changed a bit since then, most notably the fact that the Texans have become wholesale better on the defensive side of the ball. And it's in part due to some of the moves they've made during the season, like picking up a Derek Barnett, the former first-round pick of the Philadelphia Eagles, who was waived after a subpar season. They bring him in, and he's gotten indoctrinated into the system, and last week has 2 sacks against the Tennessee Titans in a must-have game of their own, and is starting to round into form, as is the rest of that defensive line, like Will Anderson, who came back and only played 12 snaps, but in those 12 snaps was incredibly effective, to the tune of 6 quarterback pressures and 2 quarterback sacks, those 2 sacks coming on back-to-back possessions by Will Anderson as he was working his way back from an ankle sprain. And in doing so, set the rookie record for sacks in a season for the Houston Texans. He's not the only one. Jonathan Grenard is having a career year for the Houston Texans with 12.5 sacks. And I'll tell you what, the Houston Texans, a lot was made, and rightfully so, in the last few seasons of how bad they were against the run. They were the worst run defense in the NFL for the last 2 years. They are 4th in the NFL against the run this year. They're allowing under 100 yards a game, and Derrick Henry did not torch them in either of the games, where normally he at least goes for 200 once against the Houston Texans and always over 100. So it is good to see the defense playing at a high level. A lot of that is due to some of the players coming back. They get Blake Cashman back at linebacker. They have Derek Stingley back from the hamstring issue that put him on the IR for like 7-8 weeks, and he's playing at an elite level as well. They've got a chance in this game to go up to Indianapolis, which has been a house of horrors for them in previous years. But previous years don't seem to matter with this Houston Texans team, which is a good thing. And then they've got CJ Stroud back, and he's got a game under his belt after missing the last 2 with the concussion. And so he got to kind of shake that off and the rust of missing the last 2 games, and got some good work in against the Tennessee Titans and played well against them as well. this will be a more competitive game than was the one in week 2. I have no doubts about it. And as a matter of fact, I do believe that the Texans will win this game. And they've made some additions on the back end too. Remember, a few weeks ago, they claimed Kareem Jackson off waivers, bringing him back as that safety. They were having some issues, injuries at the safety position. Jimmy Ward can't seem to stay on the field. And that can also be another late addition to this Texans team that can pay dividends here, not only in week 18, but moving forward through the playoffs. It goes to show the dichotomy of making a move to just attempt to better your roster in any way possible that it seems the Cowboys almost seem averse to doing in recent years under Jerry Jones. They are so concerned with keeping things status quo. And if they make a move, it's on the back end of the roster, and it's usually a very minimal move. So Lyle Collins, big move for the Dallas Cowboys. Damian Wilson, another possible big move that could pay additions as the postseason unwinds. If they can swing a Dalvin Cook, that would be another big move for the Dallas Cowboys that could pay some dividends. They took a shot on Martavius Bryant. Haven't seen anything come to fruition of that, but you can't bat 1,000. But it doesn't mean you stop taking swings at the plate. And the Houston Texans are a great blueprint of how roster turnover can yield success if you're willing to take those chances on players late in the season. And on top of just late in the season additions, just continually churning the roster. And I think there is a chance that if he doesn't win it, he should at least be in the conversation. But Nick Caserio, as executive of the year in the NFL for what he's done with, you look at the CJ Stroud pick, you look at the Will Anderson pick, you look at the Tank Dell pick, you look at the Jared Patterson, who was playing well before his season ending injury. Juice Scruggs is starting on that offensive line, another pick that they took in the draft this season. And then the contributions they made in the offseason that made big time contributions throughout the season, whether it be Noah Brown or Dalton Schultz or Malik Collins and re-signing him, making sure that they got, Derek Barnett off of waivers as one of the Devin Singletary, a free agent signing that they brought in. The amount of moves and players that are making contributions on this team to a team that, by the way, was 3-13 last year. 3-13 last year and had the second pick in the draft, that is now 9-7 and on the doorstep of being in the playoffs. I don't think there is a better case to be made when you're talking about potential executive of the year, especially when you're talking about having potentially both the offensive and defensive rookies of the year in their respective sides of the ball with Will Anderson and CJ Stroud. And even if Will Anderson doesn't get it, CJ Stroud, more than likely the offensive rookie of the year. So Nick Caserio has done a great job in building this roster that has turned it this season and the culture and everything else around. And let's not forget, add on to the list that Nick Caserio hired DeMeco Ryans, the coach that has helped to spar this turnaround. So I would make a strong case for Nick Caserio as executive of the year in the NFL. Hard to say the same thing right now about Brian Wright unless you're just basing it on Victor Wembanyama. Even Victor is a little bit frustrated, it seems, with what is happening with him and this team and the losing of the San Antonio Spurs as they fell again last night, although it was a lot closer. We'll break down what happened, how it happened, and exactly what to make of it next right here on Extra Innings with Pledge, plus your phone calls, comments. go to SA Sports Star on our YouTube page. You can comment along as the Biomex did, saying extra innings is fire, baby. I appreciate it. Make sure to hit that like button on the show, and we will discuss Victor Wembanyama subbing himself into a ball game late and what it means. Decipher what he had to say about it. That's coming up next here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's Dallas Cowboys football on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Cowboys and Commanders. Sunday afternoon at 2:30.
Out of the gun, back to Dak. He's taking another shot in the end zone. Left side of the end zone. Touchdown.
Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Ewald Kubota, Mother's Window Tint, Woods Comfort Systems, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Paid actor portrayal.
I didn't see it coming. Life can be so unpredictable. After losing my dad, it made me think about my family if something were to happen to me. The mortgage, car payments, and all the other bills. Even things like our annual summer vacation would be out of reach. I had heard about life insurance through Ethos and how easy it was to get coverage. They were right. I knew it was time to stop putting it off and get life insurance right now. I got on my computer and went to ethoslife.com. In just 10 minutes, I was covered. And boom, family protected. Thanks to Ethos, my family won't have to worry about the bills if the unpredictable happens to me.
Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's GETETHOS.com.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax. Touchdown! A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax. 100% natural male enhancement formulas only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-350-6946 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-350-6946. That's 800-350-6946. What do you have to lose? Call 800-350-6946. Again, 800-350-6946.
At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, our motto is simple. George gets justice. But what does that mean for you? It means you get an award-winning team of attorneys who will fight for everything taken from you so that you can get back to what matters in life. When we say George gets justice, it's just not a motto. It's a commitment to you. Call us at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George.
Happy holidays from your neighbors at El Guacamole Mexican Grill. Place your breakfast or lunch order today. Visit them at 250-20 or call 210-499-5364. Hot, fresh, made-to-order Mexican dishes. El Guacamole Mexican Grill.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
It's the Awesome Tickets Pro Football Pick'em Challenge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your shot at $50,000 nationally, while weekly winners locally get a $50 gift card to Five Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks. At the end of the season, locally, the best overall record wins the San Antonio Grand Prize of $1,000 worth of tickets to any event from Awesome Tickets. Sign up today at sasportstar.com.
Welcome back to Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. You can follow me on X, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff, at I am Pledger. You can follow the station at SA Sports Star. You can comment along on our YouTube page at SA Sports Star. Be sure to like and subscribe as you do. Or you can call into the show at 210-656-ESPN. That is 210-656-3776. Victor Wembanyama had a good night last night. Still on a minutes restriction, though, according to head coach Greg Popovich.
No, I don't know. In a certain amount of time, we're going to take more pictures, and that'll determine whether the minute things changes or not. It's the same every night. I think we were a minute off tonight. I think it's 24 is the deal. So,
well, they were a minute off that last night. But why were they a minute off? Well, because of something that Victor Wembanyama did.
I wasn't allowed to sub in, but I still did it. The coach subbed me out.
So Victor Wembanyama subs himself into the ball game. And I will break down exactly what went down as it was tweeted out by Tom Orsborn of the San Antonio Express News, who tweets out, after lobbying for a few more minutes extra after exiting with 3:07 left in the game, Wemby checked himself in with a minute 46 left. After he recorded a dunk with a minute 13 to go, Pop promptly pulled him at the 1:10 mark. And that's what you heard from Victor Wembanyama right there, was him subbing himself back in. But while that is not cool, and you don't want players taking things into their own hands, that's a little bit kind of how you start to lose a locker room, is players stop listening to you. You do have to be concerned with Victor Wembanyama as he is seemingly crying out for more playing time, because he was asked if he's frustrated by his minutes restriction currently. And well, I'll let him tell you.
Yes, this is, I understand, of course, I'm wrong for, wanting to, I agree for this restrictions, so I'm wrong. On the moment, of course, I want to play, and I'm frustrated. The wise option is to listen to the staff. It's hard, and it's frustrating.
He is frustrated. And it's that first, when asked if he's being frustrated.
Yes.
That is the sound of frustration. You trust me, I do it with my mom all the time. I get on the phone with her and she'll ask me something she's asked me a bazillion times. I'm like, yes, is that elongated.
Yes.
That is frustration at its peak. And he understands that there is a plan in place. But this is a guy who's not used to losing. And he says himself he feels fine. And he wants to play. He's lobbying to play. I mean, goes and 4 last night. 20 points, 7 rebounds, 4 blocks, including one on Ja Morant. And we've seen some tweaks to the lineups already as it pertains to Victor Wembanyama. One of those tweaks is moving Keldon to the second unit, which has worked in a sense because we're worried about the ball sticking. And even Rudy this morning on R&R mentioned after watching last night's game, man, Keldon's a black hole. He gets the ball, you ain't getting it. It ain't coming back. He plays bully ball. We've talked about it. Get his head down, get to the rack. Well, 19 points off the bench, your second leading scorer. So he does provide something to that second unit. But there's not a lot else on this team. Devin Vassell, he and Wemby seem to be the focal points of what this team is going to be moving forward. And Pop even talked about how Devin and Vic are starting to learn how to play together.
There's, two of the people we want to have the ball a lot since they're our skilled players in a sense. So they're starting to read each other. They're figuring out that he's 7'3" and you can throw it up in the air. And when he rolls, you got to get a pocket pass in there because he makes good decisions and can either score or kick it to someone else, because we really haven't had that to a great degree in the past. So seeing those two guys meld together is important for us. They're doing pretty well.
And we heard about it. We talked about it ourselves. How do you miss the 7'3" guy? You just throw it up and let him go get it. He talked about the lobs. And we saw some of that coming to fruition the other night against the Memphis Grizzlies. Fred Villarreal on our YouTube live feed says, gotta love Wemby. Maybe it's a French thing, LOL. And maybe it is, because Tony Parker, we heard this morning on R&R as it was brought to our attention that in the playoffs, he talked about the sideline audio, if you will, that revolved around Tony wanting to play more minutes. And it is, I don't know, maybe it's a French thing. Maybe they are going to push themselves and they need to be safe from themselves. I'm not sure. But I can tell you that it is definitely funny, especially when you hear is kind of Victor Wembanyama's mentor and a person that he looked up to and played for his team as well over in France. When you hear this play from back in the 2012 playoffs.
If you play the whole quarter, it'll be 29 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm fine. I didn't play for 3 days, Pop. I'm 29 years old.
Get back out there.
And Pop let him go back out there back then. But that was the playoffs. This is a lost season. So maybe you take more precaution with that. And maybe that's what he's trying to stress to Victor Wembanyama is the long-term goal over the short-sighted need to feel compelled to help to win what in essence this season is a meaningless game. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM and sasportstar.com. When we come back, the Eagles are falling apart, man, and you could tell the frustration is sitting in not just with the players but the entire fan base. And how deep does that frustration go? Well, one of the main sources of that frustration, A.J. Brown will break it down next right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and sasportstar.com.
It's the Awesome Tickets Pro Football Pick'em Challenge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your shot at $50,000 nationally, while weekly winners locally get a $50 gift card to Five Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks. At the end of the season, locally, the best overall record wins the San Antonio Grand Prize of $1,000 worth of tickets to any event from Awesome Tickets. Sign@star.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price to have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Joel, I've invented the perfect exercise machine. It's practical, efficient, and fits in any home. I give you the Row and Go. Ta-da! It's a rowing machine that connects to your toilet, so you can row and...
Stop. Folks, at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC will help homes stay in tip-top shape. Call Quarter Moon 651-5899.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899.
License number M16004, DACLA 000743445E.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin, ultra soft on the party. Let's just so roll it back, everybody. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hella nice. The grip is always stopped. It's our party vibe. It's crushing things so our cheeks feel fine. So everybody wanna touch the sky.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Paid actor portrayal.
I didn't see it coming. Life can be so unpredictable. After losing my dad, it made me think about my family if something were to happen to me. The mortgage, car payments, and all the other bills. Even things like our annual summer vacation would be out of reach. I had heard about life insurance through Ethos and how easy it was to get coverage. They were right. I knew it was time to stop putting it off and get life insurance right now. I got on my computer and went to ethoslife.com. In just 10 minutes, I was covered. And boom, family protected. Thanks to Ethos, my family won't have to worry about the bills if the unpredictable happens to me.
Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's GETETHOS.com.
Hi, Jason Minix here from The Blitz. Now that we're in 2024, the NBA season in full swing, you need to get in on the action with Underdog Fantasy and play their Pick'em game, which I love playing the Pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your Pick'em entry. All you have to do is select whether they will go higher or lower on their predicted stats. If your picks hit, you can win big. It is a fantasy game, but you can win real money, and it is legal in Texas, and certainly does make watching the silver and black more interesting. So go to their easy-to-use mobile app or to UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with promo code STAR, and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR at UnderdogFantasy.com.
The South Texas RV Super Sale is back at Freeman Expo Hall, and boy, do we have a great show this year. Hundreds of RVs, every shape and size. All dealers are ready to sell. You'll get the best prices of the year, January 4th through the 7th. South Texas RV Super Sale.
Kevin Harlan of Westwood One Sports. Join us tonight at 6:30 for Monday Night Football, exclusively on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I guess I'm a disappointment. Doing everything I can, I don't want to make you disappointed. It's annoying. I just want to make you.
Welcome back to Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I guess a disappointment would be the Philadelphia Eagles this year, as they expected to go back-to-back in the NFC, and at one point, we're 10-1, looking like they were in the driver's seat. They have dropped 4 or 5, and things have gotten very, very, very murky for them. They're in the playoffs, but they don't feel like a team that's going to make a run, and those frustrations starting to feel like they're about to spill over when it comes to not just A.J. Brown, but the rest of the team, although he's not willing to lay it on the feet of his head coach.
I can tell you that there may be things that Nick probably want to fix about himself, and I'll say, but one thing I can't respect, loyalty is not one of them. And I say that because he takes up for us when it has nothing to do with him, and he gets the blame. But that comes with his job, you know. And sometimes Jalen does the same thing, and just like Brian, he get the wrong end of the stick sometimes. When it be us,
and he's trying to lay it at the feet of the players, and you can tell this is a team that is beginning to fracture, at least this year, and I don't know if that's something that can be fixed in time for a postseason run. This has been Extra Innings with Pleasure. We got Cowboys Crosstalk coming up next here on San Antonio Sports Star.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders.